Now we gotta talk about the big bad wolf on the ultimatum, and that is codependency. Yes, a lot of these people are codependent. I think that Netflix has a way of casting certain people who are mentally a certain kind of way. In this season, we got Nick, okay, who gave us so much robust things from a therapist perspective to discuss and go over. And one of those things is codependency in relationships, okay? Because y'all are codependent, but don't probably realize it. So it's up to people like me, a licensed therapist, to come on here and let y'all know you're codependent, work through that stuff, that ish, so you can heal. Now, looking at this season, okay, Nick is somebody who a lot of y'all think is the problem. Not a lot of accountability for women. We are still living in a society of me that people tend to focus on men being the problem. And I'm not sure what it's going to take for y'all to recognize that women are part of the problem. And you can be in a relationship with someone and be walking on eggshells, not know who you really are, and get a lot of your self-worth from your partners. And Nick, just like Sandy, both of them are equally the problem in their relationship dynamic. As I've been watching this season, I truly feel that a lot of things that Nick displayed, his characteristics, none of it was new. That kind of stuff does not happen overnight. I think there were things, traits seen throughout the relationship, but it wasn't until this experience that I think it just blew up. Okay, but let's talk about codependency, because I think a lot of you guys need to know what it looks like, because you're in relationships with people who, anxious, avoidant. You need all of your stuff from the other person. And one of the characteristics to me of being in a codependent relationship is walking on eggshells, feeling like I gotta tiptoe, walk around, mentally play gymnastics with myself to make sure I don't say the wrong thing, I don't do the wrong thing, to take away the person that has given me all of my self-worth. Also, tiptoeing, walking on eggshells to not make this person mad, because who am I without them? Okay, now you might think you're walking on eggshells because you don't want to make them mad, because you don't want the wrath. It's that too. But some of it's because subconsciously you may not realize you're so attached and codependent on this relationship that you don't know who you are outside of it. And I feel like we saw that with Nick. I feel like we saw a little bit of that with Mariah and Caleb, but I think with Mariah and Caleb, Mariah more had a lot of trauma. I don't think she was codependent. I think she was anxious. Some of y'all feel like she was anxious because of the way he was treating her. I think she's anxious because she has an anxious attachment style. And I think him pulling away only exacerbated, similar to Dick, standing in, going over there and being with JR only exacerbated the things that were already in play. So if you have two people who are not mentally in the best places and have partners who are avoidant, okay, this is what you get. Each of them spiraled in different ways. Nick, to me, just really spiraled out loud. And I think Mariah spiraled internally and didn't show it on her sleeve. But now we saw once they got, they got back together, and she's trying to ask some questions. But I think they both have partners who are in avoidant people of emotions, of feelings. Okay. And so we talk about eggshells, feeling like you have to check in with the other person. Sometimes that's not every relationship, not every codependent relationship feels like you have to check in. But a lot of it's that you're getting a lot of your self-worth, your needs, your value through this relationship. Okay. And you don't have friends. And if you do, are you one of them people who be out with your friends and be like, oh, but Johnny's going to be home soon, and I got to make sure I get home because Johnny's going to be home, so I got to dip out early. How many of you got them friends? Or you want to plan something. Oh, I got to make sure, what is Johnny doing on Saturday? I know y'all want to go to brunch, but what is Johnny doing? That is, to me, another form of checking in. Now, y'all think check-in is asking for permission, things like that, but that's also checking. Maybe the person is not verbally checking in, but mentally. Okay, I want to go out with my friends, but what about Johnny? What is he going to do without me? Okay, Johnny can have a life, and you can too, but you are so like this, and Johnny may not even realize that you are checking for him and checking in because he's not asking for that. But you mentally have to do everything around your relationship that you isolate, you push away your friends. Hey, some of your friends probably don't even want to F with you no more because they know every time that you want to hang out, okay, we want to hang out with Jamisha, but we know she got to figure out what's going on with her man. And we're going to have to go through these layers and this stuff about, we got to hear about what Mikey got going on. What about Mikey? Can Mikey come? We don't want to hear about that. So you know what? Instead of having Jamisha come this time, we just not going to invite her. And then Jamisha's sitting at home like watching y'all on the stories. They didn't invite me? Yeah, because you're too codependent. They didn't want to deal with this, hearing about Mikey. They just want to hang out with a girl. But because you're so codependent, now you get pushed out of the crew. Now you're sitting at home with FOMO. Now you're talking to your man about how your friends don't want to hang with you no more. Why you not inviting me? Now he got to hear all that. When the reality is because you are so codependent and everything is about Mikey, and we get tired of hearing about Mikey. What Jamisha got going on? Okay? Now that is a realistic scenario of people who are in codependent relationships. Okay? Feeling like you always have to be with the person. You're always talking about them. Your self-worth is attached to them. What are you going to do without them? You can't hang out without the person. They got to be with you. Putting that person on a pedestal. So then your friends always got to hear about all the amazing things Mikey got going on. Okay? Your friends get tired of that BS. And then they stop inviting you. Okay? So are you somebody who has to put their partner on a pedestal? Okay, are you? Are you a person who feels like you have a lost sense of self without the partner attached to you, or they want to go and travel? Here's another scenario I've seen in codependent relationships. Okay, you want to go somewhere and do something. No, let's take it back. Your partner wants to go and do something. Okay, you are so attached to them that they want to go do something by themselves. And you know what you do? You start an argument. You bring chaos. Okay, and you sabotage your partner going out with his friends, traveling. Okay, you make him feel bad. Because in the end, dang, you know what? I'm just not going to go. They want me to go on the bachelor trip. I'm not going to go because I get it. You don't want me to go. So instead of just saying like, I feel uncomfortable with you going, I have my own maybe abandonment issues, you gonna sabotage his fun. Okay, because if the homies can't have none, he gotta stay. The girl can't come, what am I gonna do without you? So learning how to verbalize and emotionally communicate effectively of like, hey, I feel like I just don't know about this trip because it's bringing out some insecurities in me. Can we sit down and talk about that? But instead, y'all pick a fight. Okay, sometimes it's your boyfriend, sometimes it's your girlfriend, your girl going out and she about to be with her girl. She got her little outfits, her and the friends in the group chat text about what they gonna do tonight. And instead of you being supportive, you start an argument. And then it trickles down and the friends over time comes to realize, is Jamisha really gonna go? Or is it gonna be something with her and her baby daddy? And then it's only a matter of time before here come that text, oh, Mikey tripping again, so I guess I can't come. And then once again, why do we even invite Jamisha? Codependency, how your chaotic mind, you're used to chaos, so you bring that into your relationship. But you have to learn how to heal so that you do not bring that unhealthy chaos into a new thing. And I think with Nick, we saw him, well, according to some of, I think Vanessa said there were things with Nick that made her want to leave. Okay, so she saw some unraveling. He brought that chaotic mind and those systems that are in place in his other relationships into something potentially healthy and sabotaged it. That is another way of codependency, chaos, your childhood trauma comes into play into these new relationships. We talk about you can't do anything without the other person. Codependent. Okay, so we see how Nick is a codependent individual, but in my opinion, and once again, y'all, these are not my clients. These are just me analyzing these things from edited scenes, sliced together through Netflix editors. So I'm just going off of what I see on camera. Okay, it's just commentary. But you see just how, to me, I feel like the catalyst was his relationship with Sandy and watching Sandy get closer to somebody else that brought out more of that heightened sense of state, the unraveling, the emotional dysregulation, not knowing how to calm down and recognize it's going to be okay. This is not a forever thing. Checking in with myself and asking, I ask my clients this when they have, shit come up. Is it my trauma that's coming into play? Or is it a fact? Ask yourself, when you're having these feelings come about your relationship or situations you are in, what is happening to me right now? What am I being triggered by? What's happening? Is it my trauma coming into this situation? Or am I seeing things that are facts and things that are affecting me? Is it fact or is it trauma? Okay, because if it's your trauma, that's an opportunity for you to self-reflect and recognize, I'm feeling triggered right now. It's some stuff going on. It's not really that Mikey is pissing me off. It's not really that my friends are against me. It's my own trauma brain coming into reality and trying to sabotage what is in front of me. So ask yourself, is it trauma or is it facts? Reality test. This is what I do with my clients. I want you to reality test what is happening in front of your eyes, what you are feeling, what you are seeing, which one is it? Take a step back, recognize, give yourself a moment to figure out what's really happening right now. Is it me? Is it them? Is it my trauma? Is it my mommy issues? Is it my daddy issues? What is it really? And I think Nick being in that apartment by himself, not having anyone to bounce things off of, he's a person to me that when you don't get that stuff on out and process and talk about it, it just spirals. And it consumes you and it takes you down a slippery slope that we saw him go through over and over again. But look at the way codependency, your trauma, okay, and chaos all come into play in your relationships, and how sometimes it's not the other person. Sometimes it's just the chaotic behavior that you are used to, that excess baggage that's on your back that you are carrying into this new relationship. And does your partner help you calm down from it? Are they able to be a container for you? When I say holding space, is your partner a container, a healthy container? Are they a container that only exacerbates your mental health symptoms, the things you're going through, your trauma, and only makes things worse? Now, these are just a few of the things I want to talk about when it comes to codependency. Now, you can work through it, okay? Learning how to be with yourself, taking small steps of separation, learning how to do things by yourself. Take yourself out. It doesn't have to be like an hour-long thing, days at a time, but little bits and pieces to get you used to the discomfort of sitting with yourself without being attached to somebody. Okay. Don't be afraid to say no. Having boundaries, setting boundaries with yourself, self-reflecting. These are all ways to work through codependency. And looking at your own parental relationships. Where'd you learn and see healthy relationships? Was that an opportunity for you? Did you see healthy relationships growing up? Did you see your mommy and daddy going back and forth? Separation, divorce? Oh, we get back together. Did you see your mom always bringing in new men, new boyfriends? What were the examples you had as a child of healthy dynamics in relationships, or did you not have that at all? Okay, now these are just my thoughts about codependency in relationships. Nick, Mariah. Okay, now you know we're gonna get into some things. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. A lot of y'all watch my videos and you do not subscribe. Okay, so I need you to hit that like, that share, subscribe to the channel. I love that you watch the videos, but stay subscribed, and I will see you, of course, in the next video. Bye.